taking on the Halos, or what's left of them. This is Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily Oakland A's podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What up, what up, what up? It's Wayne Coy, athletic supporter my entire life, and media guy, and of course, host of Locked On A's. Good to have you here, and thank you if you are an everydayer. We really do appreciate that. Make sure you let us know in the comments, by the way, that you're here every day. It's good to know you're there. Yeah, the A's are taking on the Angels. We're going to talk all about that and some things that are happening off the field as well, but we want to thank you for making Locked On A's your first stop, your first listen every single day. We definitely do appreciate that. Please subscribe, give us the thumbs up, the like if you can, as we try to grow the channel, and that's the way to do it. Share with your friends, of course. And again, glad to have you on. It's good to be with kindred spirits, the A's fans. Well, after dropping 2 out of 3 in Minnesota, the A's are now in Anaheim, along with the Oakland 68s, who are in full force and getting ready to take on the Angels, finishing up their road trip and, of course, their season, 3 games against those Angels. Okay, in tonight's game 1, it is Ken Waldichuk, who's pitching for the A's. He goes to the mound looking for his 5th win of the season against 8 losses. And for the Angels, it is Chase Silseth, who has also won 4 games, but he's doing a little bit better. He's 4-1. He will be facing a starting lineup that does include a leadoff hitter by the name of Ryan Noda, who, when asked yesterday if he enjoyed hitting leadoff, he said, just write my name in the lineup. I don't really care where I hit as long as I get to hit. So that's a great attitude. He'll be leading off tonight, batting second and playing second base. It is rookie Zach Geloff. Number 3 is Brent Rooker, our DH for tonight. The cleanup hitter is left fielder J.J. Bleday. Got to say that again, J.J. Bleday. It's Aledmus Diaz, who's playing third base, and he's batting 5th tonight, batting 6th. I asked for this to happen, and it did. Batting 6th, Lawrence Butler. The only thing is I was kind of hoping he'd play right, but I'll take it. Lawrence Butler is playing center field tonight and playing right field. That's right, that guy, Esty Ruiz. Esty is in the lineup, just like I said yesterday and the day before and the day before. Anyway, you get the drift. I really want him to be there. There's a record that if things go well tonight, he's going to be able to hopefully tie and then exceed. That is the American League rookie record for stolen bases. 65 is where he sits. 66 is the record held by Kenny Lofton back in 1992. And this could be it. This could be the night. We've got 3 games left, of course, to get it done. Just good to know he's in the lineup. He's batting 7th. Batting 8th, it's shortstop Nick Allen. And rounding out the lineup for tonight and catching is Tyler Soderstrom, batting 9th tonight for the A's. All right, looking ahead, you got Game 2 starter. I've been waiting for this. Joe Boyle, who had such a great outing his first time out. He's going to hopefully finish his season 2-0. He'll be looking for his 2nd win and in his 2nd start coming up tomorrow. And then wrapping up the series, it's J.P. Sears, who takes the mound for his, are you ready for this, 32nd start of the year. It was a stated goal of his that he would get 30 starts. And, of course, he leads the team by a ton in that category. So finishing off the year, hopefully very strong, J.P. Sears will be your pitcher on Sunday. And then it's what promises to be an action-packed offseason, of course, because there's a lot going on off the field. We'll be paying attention to that. We have a relocation vote supposedly going to happen in November. I know some people are wondering whether or not they could do it that fast, considering there's no renderings and no architect, et cetera, and so on. But we'll have to wait and see. I do know that Commissioner Manfred says he hopes that there will be a vote in November at those meetings in Arlington. Have to wait and see. Now, the A's next game after Sunday's game against the Angels will be February the 24th. It's not too early to start thinking about spring training, right? They'll take on the Colorado Rockies to kick off the spring. And, of course, between now and then, you're going to stay locked in, right? Locked in and locked on It's Locked On A's. We'll be here all off season long. Hope you will be too. Now, to revisit that story that we brought to you yesterday, we have some more details to add. The Nevada PAC, called Schools Over Stadiums, was formed back in June after Governor Lombardo in Nevada said, yeah, sure, I'm going to go ahead and sign that. Legislators put it through. $380 million in public funding to build the A's a new stadium right there at the corner of Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard in the parking lot of the current Tropicana Hotel. Well, immediately after that, this PAC, or Super PAC, if you want, I don't think they're a Super PAC. I think they're like a little PAC. Okay. Anyway, they were formed, and their whole mission is to get this thing on the ballot for a referendum. And of course, that's the initiative that they're trying to pull off. They've filed the appropriate papers, and now they are in the process of getting those over 100,000 signatures. And by the way, 25,000 plus have to come from each of the 4 congressional districts in the state of Nevada. But there's been a lawsuit filed against them. That's right, they're suing the PAC. And who is they, you ask? Well, we told you yesterday, and we're going to repeat it again today. They have been described as, and I quote, a group that includes representatives with ties to the A's, end quote. We can confirm that the lawsuit was indeed filed in First District Court. That happened in Carson City. And now they are attempting to, and I'm going to make sure I read this verbatim because I don't want to screw it up, attempting to invalidate the referendum petition that is filed by Schools Over Stadiums and alleges that it is, quote, deficient because it is confusing, deceptive, and misleading, omits essential information regarding the petition's effects, and flatly misstates important factual matters. Without a clear, accurate, and concise description of effect, it will be impossible for an elector to make a fully informed decision when presented with this petition as required by law, end quote. All right. So that's what they had to say. And what does that mean? Well, it's lawyers doing what lawyers do. So let's tell you who the lawyer is that's speaking, at least on record. It's Bradley Schrager, who is representing the plaintiffs, Danny Thompson, who's a former head of the Nevada AFL-CIO, by the way, and Thomas Morley, the political agent of Laborers Local 872, on behalf of a coalition. And when asked by the San Francisco Chronicle if that coalition includes the Oakland A's, the answer was yes, of course, according to the lawyer, Bradley Schrager. So there you go. That pretty much confirms that those ties they were asserting yesterday are indeed there. So the A's are involved, and it's shot fired if you're, one of those people who thinks that, as soon as it gets legal, it gets sticky, and you got to be aggressive if you're going to prove your point. So there you go, right across the bow, right? Schools Over Stadiums is preparing, of course, to defend themselves and their efforts. They need over 100,000 signatures, like I said, and they want to get this thing on the ballot. But, and this is an important but, because I and others that I know, fellow A's fans, some that aren't, some that live here in Las Vegas, have said, and they're wondering, and I kind of get it, what is it that caused the A's to go from what could be described as an attitude of dismissal? Oh, nobody cares about that organization. Even the school teachers don't even care about that organization. That's pretty much what was being put out there, right? So they went from that to this, which is now they are suing to stop the PAC's activities. And they want to stop them completely. Nervous much? Just a little? Poquito? That's what I thought. Well, anyway, stay tuned. Locked On A's, of course, here with all of the developments as we get them. We will pass them on to you because, as Eddie Murphy once said, it ain't over yet. So grab your popcorn because I think this could get really interesting. Speaking of interesting, I know that you've probably been there before. I have. You go to make a meal and then you realize, I can't have tacos. I don't have any taco shells. I can't have grilled cheese sandwiches. I don't have any cheese. I love both of those things, by the way. You notice a common denominator there, right? Anyway, you've been there, right? You're out of something, and then you're like, I don't have time to go to the store. I just want to finish my work and get right to making dinner. Well, the convenience of getting what you want when you want it, courtesy of DoorDash, is definitely happening. Now, you know DoorDash because they've been delivering food to you from restaurants for a long, long time. Well, now, get ready. Here comes DoorDash grocery delivery. And you can stock up for the week. You can get that last-minute item that you forgot. Thousands of grocery stores to choose from, and you're going to find the best in your neighborhood. And you know what you do at the same time as you boost the local economy, which is very cool. DoorDash delivering those groceries exactly the way you want them. And you can get 50%, that's 50% off your initial DoorDash grocery order up to $20 value when you use the code. Ready? It's Locked On MLB. Yeah, use that code at checkout. Locked On MLB. Limited time offer. Terms do apply. 50% off up to $20. No minimum subtotal. Zero delivery fee on your first order, which is cool. And you know, if you get a Dash Pass, you never pay the delivery fee ever. And you can use it for both groceries and food from your favorite restaurant. So that's cool. Download the app. It's in the App Store. Once you do that, enter the code Locked On MLB. And don't forget that code gets you 50% off your first order with DoorDash. And they're brand new. Excited to talk about it. Grocery delivery. All right. Well, since we've got our groceries now, why don't we break out the bubbly? You ready? Let's go. Tilt one back. Hey, it's a party. It's a celebration because the A's are 49 and 110. And that means we clinched. Yeah, we clinched the lowest winning percentage in Major League Baseball. No matter what happens in this Angels series, we got that down. So there you go. Something to be proud of. Not really, but anyway. Set the record for, of course, most losses in Oakland A's history with 110. Good for second already, all-time for the franchise. Now, we're not going to get to that number. It is 117, and that was set by the 1916 hapless Philadelphia A's. But we do have a chance to tie the 1916 and 17 A's, who had a consecutive season loss record or number of 215 losses over the two seasons back-to-back. We'd have to be swept by the Angels to get there, but we could do it. I don't want to do it, but we could do it. All right, this date in A's history. Let's talk about what happened back in 1983. This kid came up, I remember, he was very young. I think the A's got him from the White Sox. I could be wrong. They might have traded him to the White Sox. So not looking it up. I don't have the benefit of the Googles or the internets. So I'm going to just do this by memory. But anyway, Mike Warren was his name. Maybe he came up with the A's and then got traded to the White. Anyway, Mike Warren, he's in the record books. Why? Because on this date, September 29th, 1983, he threw a no-no. Mike Warren with the no-hitter. Beating the American League West champion, Chicago White Sox, who he either came from or he went to. I don't remember. Okay, 1988 in A's 3, the A's beat the Twins. Final score there was 6-2. And in doing that, they locked down Oakland record, most wins in a season, 104. Now, the 2002 A's came so close to getting to that number. I think they stopped at 103, right? Is that correct? Yeah, 103 wins for the 02 A's. And then the franchise record, of course, is 107. So we got that to shoot for. 1931 Philly A's. See, they weren't always crappy. I mean, they had some good seasons. They won a bunch of World Series in Philadelphia. All right, big news across the bay. You ready? Dun, dun, dun. Gabe is OUT. Gabe Kapler, manager of the San Francisco Giants, has been told to pack his bags and leave, which I got to tell you, I think is pretty low. You got 3 games left in the regular season and you fire the guy. You couldn't wait 3 more days to get it over with. You know, let the season be done and then do this. I just don't understand. What's the rush? Anyway, maybe at some point the Giants will explain themselves, but you got to admit, right, that that's a pretty crappy thing to do. Anyway, Gabe Kapler, I always kind of like the way he carried himself, like the way he dresses. And, he's kind of a younger guy, so he's got that enthusiasm, that energy, but apparently did not control the clubhouse. And obviously the wheels fell off for the Giants. They were actually in contention, got to the thick of the season, and then forget about it. They just went into a slide, the June swoon, followed by the July bye-bye, and, the rest is not good. So a team that a lot of people thought might actually make a run at the division just ran out of steam, and all of a sudden now fingers are being pointed. Somebody's got to go. You can't fire the whole team, right? So it's manager Gabe Kapler. Hey, with that news comes some speculation, including Buster over at ESPN, who has been the first one to throw this out, that maybe the Giants might want to think about a guy who used to be behind the plate for them. Not Bruce Bochy, no. A guy who is now managing the San Diego Padres, Menlo Park's own, and former Oakland A's skipper, Bob Melvin. And you're going, well, wait a minute. Isn't he the Padres manager? Isn't he okay? Well, he is, at least as far as we know. There has been talk, though, that there are issues between upper management and Bob Melvin. He does have a year left on his deal, but of course, if they let him go, he's a free agent. He can do whatever he wants. He's 62 years old now. And, as Dorothy once said, there's no place like home. Click your spikes together 3 times. We want to thank you for being around, making us your first listen every day. Totally appreciate that. If you can subscribe to the podcast, that would be great, whether it's on YouTube or wherever you get them, because that's where you'll find us. We're like Visa. We're everywhere you want to be. Locked On A's. I'm Wayne Coy. Hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend. Let's go, Oakland. I'd love it if we could finish the season with a couple of wins against the Angels. And they're banged up. I don't even know this team, who they are anymore. They've lost, of course, their 2 big stars. So, hey, opportunity. Let them in. I'd love it if we could. Have a great weekend, like I said. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep on swinging.